Hey, we're at 7 o'clock. We have a quorum. Welcome to the February 8th Town Center and Library Committee meeting.
Yep.
I don't see any public here. I guess we're
No,
not considered public.
no.
Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
I can briefly tell you what Rebecca and I are planning to do with the library grant, what we're planning to apply
Oh,
for.
that would be great.
How's that?
Yeah, why don't we do that under other business?
We had a meeting, we met yesterday.
That's excellent. Okay, the first item on our agenda is review the results from tabling Front Porch Forums posts, Times Inc.
Mhm.
and other questions being asked. I have a copy of the article that Lori and I that,
I thought that was awesome. I read it in the,
Yeah, I read
Paper.
it when you, yeah.
well, this is,
This is the
new-
one for the next
is the new.
edition,
yeah, this one's for the next one.
but it's not
Should
that,
you-
I mean, it's from the FAQs.
Yeah,
mostly.
yeah, I mean, you basically wrote it, Lori. I just kind of reshuffled things a little bit.
This-
Fine.
this is for, also for Times Inc.
Yeah, along with the ad.
And
Yeah, I saw the ad you sent. I hadn't.
they're receptive to publishing it. I'm hoping that they'll put in the site plan. Nice color graphic. I think it would look
If it's
great
in
on
the
the front
center,
page.
Yeah, I
Have we gotten any feedback from that article or?
Not from the article.
I actually, Marshall Paulson told me he thought it was very good.
Oh.
And he said he really appreciated the history in the beginning.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah,
Great.
so I did hear one thing that was that he mentioned that at the Friday Food Affair.
Oh, great. There continue to be questions that circulate. Lori gets them on occasion, I get them on occasion.
Yeah, people ask questions when I post, they send them to me, and when you post, they send them to you.
I'm not sure the protocol on it, so I'll write a response to it. Can I send it to the committee, or that's kind of a gray area?
I mean, if you just copy us as like information, I think that's fine.
Oh,
If
I'll
you're looking,
see that answer.
yeah, if you're looking for us to like help craft a response, that's when it sort of tips into an online meeting. But if you're just like, here's the question, here's the response, I think that's
Yeah.
fine.
So Carol Bounty had an interesting question on snow loads,
Yeah.
which I didn't quite understand.
We're getting
Why, she was very concerned that we didn't have more detail on what the regional snow loads were and what. Am I mischaracterizing?
No, that's correct.
For this.
I think
group
most
and the
probably a
post office.
fringe concern. I mean, considering we're talking about only either leaving the same or increasing structural capacity, so.
Right, so, and how much we increase the structural capacity doesn't have an impact on cost. Right, the difference between 6 inches and 8 inches of adding to rafters doesn't add any cost.
I assume that whatever the cost estimator estimated is
So that's basically,
standard of, the proper standard for Vermont.
we actually had, we had Engineering Ventures
Yeah.
do a study of both roofs really.
Yeah,
They
they
didn't,
actually opened up a hole in the post
Yeah.
office roof to look at what actually was in there.
and we cored the roof with the, from the top too, to find out the
We
insulation.
can let that one go. It's,
Well, I responded to it.
Yeah.
And I can, so I don't know where that'll go. I responded earlier this week and we'll see if she has more questions. These tend to trickle in. You've been getting.
That seems like more of a construction specs question.
It is,
than
it
a-
is, yeah.
Than a conceptual question.
Yep.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I had Dave asked a question about, Dave Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah, asked about, had we considered tearing down the post office and
Yeah.
just building a new addition? And it's like, I don't remember specifically talking about that, but I mean, it would be worth, if the bond passed, we could certainly look at that
Explore that.
cost, and see if it would be cheaper. If the bond is up to this amount, it would be cheaper. That's another decision point that we would make.
I don't think it would, in that the architects have
Yeah.
given us a number between $400 and $500 a square foot for new
The
construction.
thing is that, yeah, that's Class A office. this is a warehouse. So I'm not sure that would, this is essentially a warehouse with some office space.
Hmm.
So
So maybe,
it might be worth, I mean, we can explore that if the bond passes and,
Yeah.
and
if it
have
would
an
be cheaper, I'd
answer.
be all for it.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I liked your quick math, but that's a good point. I bet the architects could give us an answer relatively
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
We did look at, Linda Parent had suggested putting an addition on top of the post office at
Yeah.
one point.
We
and
did
that
talk
was quite a
about
bit-
that, I remember, but yeah.
Quite a bit more expensive.
Well, it wasn't built to have a second floor on it, so then you're probably talking about just rebuilding the whole thing,
Hmm.
you know.
Lisa, I see you're here. Did you have any
Oh,
comments?
Lisa?
You count as the public these days.
Oh,
Lisa here.
oh, good. I'm like the token public. No comments. I'm just here to see what
Yeah.
we can learn because I don't know everything.
Hey, well, we appreciate your interest.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I did do a tour. Was it last weekend? Seems like so long ago. I did do a tour. You were here.
The 25th, that's the night, the one.
Oh, it was a week ago tonight,
Yeah.
right? It was a week ago
It
tonight.
was a week ago,
We had a good turnout, actually.
the first, yeah,
Maybe
we had
Yeah.
8, 9 people.
Nice.
8, 9 people.
Matt Maltrip, who's one of the select board candidates, came.
And Mark Aldridge's.
Origides,
Arridge's
Origides, former,
treasurer.
treasurer.
Town
Town
treasurer.
treasurer.
He had quite a few questions.
Funny questions. Matt's a contractor, so he had some contractor type questions.
Yeah.
And then the folks from, 3 people that are affiliated with Radiate.
Yes,
were
and
there.
then Dennis Wasser. I
Yeah.
don't know what Dennis is retired now, but I know him.
Yeah, yeah,
But
they-
it was,
yeah.
it was a good turnout and, the tour really works, I wish more people would do it,
Yeah.
because, you can, the number is large. And it's
Yeah.
easy to say, oh, it can't cost that much,
and then you start.
and then
yeah,
you start
yeah.
looking at it and you go like, oh, what would
Yeah.
you cut out? I mean, this is the exercise that we went through pretty extensively.
Yeah.
And, I, for the life of me, I don't know what you cut out. Sprinklers? I don't, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know what you cut out that would make any significant difference. And, I was thinking
I
about it.
know
today.
several people have asked me, well, what's Plan B? And it's like, probably coming back with a larger number at some point in the future, because I don't think there's really a Plan B.
Well, even if you try to whittle it down some, so it would be a lesser project, but say it was $7.8 million. And so it's not $96 per 100, it's
86
78
or
or 80,
78 or whatever,
that's still a big impact. So I think the decision that everybody needs to make, and I think it takes a while to get there. So I'm glad we started early because it took a while for me. Is, are people willing to invest in this building for
Right.
a legacy project? And that's really a personal decision, so.
Amy, what you talked a lot to the women who were Radiate people about it. Did they have any other questions when we were down in there? I know you guys were chatting.
Yeah, no, we had a good conversation, and they had a lot of questions, and I think they, like everybody, they were kind of back and forth on, we really need to do it, but it's a really big number. We really need to do it, but it's a really big number. So I thought their questions were really good. I think they were thinking like, well, they were actually kind of excited about the idea of upstairs space for Radiate. They liked the light upstairs and thought that there was, lots of possibilities up there. So yeah, I think they were very thoughtful about everything.
Yeah,
I think that's just been consistent with all the tours that we've taken and, is that
yeah,
people are, I really appreciate that they have all been respectful.
yes.
Hasn't been,
Yeah, we
coming in with
haven't, no.
pitchforks or, tomatoes. I think there's varying degrees of concern and,
Yeah.
and I think we've answered questions as best we can.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Amy and I did the Friday food affair and we talked to a fair number of people and
We
handed
spoke with a
out.
lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it's all, it's nice when Marshall does his little pitch for us so that,
really is
you
helpful.
know, people come over because they, yeah. Yeah,
So, so far, I think it would be very hard for somebody to accuse us of not trying to be transparent. You know, we are, I
Right.
think we're trying our best to get information out. I mean, I really
Yeah.
feel strongly that way.
people will still at one of those presentations say, people still come up to me and say, I didn't know this was happening. And it's like, you know, well, it is, and it's been going on since 2019, so.
We're trying, I think we're
Yeah.
trying the best we
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
So let's think about next steps for reaching out. You know, I think the
Yeah.
front porch forum posts are really good. What I
Mhm.
was planning on doing was double dipping with this.
Yeah,
I thought I would post this next week after Heidi puts it in the paper, because it'll be 2 weeks before it
well,
comes out.
it doesn't come out. Her paper doesn't come out till the 23rd,
Right.
I think she said.
So if I,
It never gets to us until like a week later, so usually it's half of the stuff in the paper is gone by the time it gets to us in our mailbox.
Oh, to the mail. I was
Yeah.
thinking. Makes
so
sense.
I was thinking that, I don't want her to see it and go, oh, well, I guess I don't need to do this.
Yeah.
I thought I'd let her put
Yeah.
she'll put the paper together this weekend.
Yeah.
And I thought midweek I would do this. The only other things that we have scheduled right now are the public information meeting.
The Friday Food Affair coming up.
Yeah, so,
We Need to decide who can be there.
so when is that? This is next Friday, is it?
Is it the 16th? I don't,
That is the 16th.
it's Chinese New Year and George Lamb is cooking,
That's
so
fun.
it's probably gonna be really good food.
Is Georgia chef? I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's
Oh.
retired, but he's leading the cooking charge.
Cool.
Yeah.
Lives here in
You're
Richmond.
in Florida.
I'll be in Florida next Friday. Yeah. I had a baseball game most likely on Friday night.
Oh,
Fine.
I'll commit to going to it.
okay,
I find it kind of fun, actually.
it is kind of fun, actually, yeah. So, and you could just stop at the library and pick up the display.
Yeah.
It's just there. I told Rebecca probably that's what's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna
What
come
time
in
does
Friday.
and the library's open on Friday?
Yeah, it's open till 6. So, and the
Yeah,
Friday
so
food
that's
affair starts at
Yeah,
5:30.
I usually try to go around 4:30
Yeah.
anyways, set up.
Mhm.
Anybody else interested?
I can't go that evening. Otherwise, sorry about that, Jeff.
I'll see what's happening, maybe.
Okay, I think maybe it's fine.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay, how about front porch forum posts? I think it's good to have, what we have been doing is we've been doing 2 a week. One has been kind of informational about, when the next things are gonna be happening, and then
yeah,
another one is like, picking
Something
some
from
issue
the-
up from the
from the-
FAQ
yeah.
piece. Um,
yeah,
I'll do one next week, with this.
yeah.
Anybody else want to take one on?
Thinking about if there was anything else out of the FAQ.
I'm happy to do a front porch forum post.
Yeah.
Is there a topic that we want to make sure we've hit that we haven't done yet?
Are there any topics we haven't hit? I don't know.
Definitely talk about snow loads.
Yeah,
No, I don't think that's a high visibility one.
I'm wondering if we're starting to saturate that channel.
yeah,
I just am, I think it's been great. I definitely have agreed that that's probably one of the ways we've reached the most number of people.
uh-huh.
We've had quite a few posts now.
Well, yeah,
and
we could go down to 1 a week. And at some point, I think we should do a big one about learn the 26th,
Yeah, the 26th.
the budget, the
Hmm.
whole. Are you planning to just put out a whole post about the budget?
Well, I'll have
the
like the
February
regular-
26th?
I'll have like the regular warning for that, which won't be like specific to any one topic on there. So I think a couple other
Maybe
posts
when you
specific
put
to
that out
that.
there, we could follow it up with a and at that budget,
Yeah,
you could learn more about this.
or you could do it, because honestly, I probably won't get that warning out until like the Thursday or Friday before, just to
Okay.
gather all the other documents that need to go with it. So
Okay.
if you wanted to start to promote, and I think it's on the website, let me double check. I think it is on the
26th,
site as a,
It is
I
on the-
saw references to the
placeholder.
26th in the minutes, so that's, what is that event? That's,
Oh, the town meeting is on, what, the
Fifth?
fifth, March fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we are required to have a public information meeting before town meeting to explain the budget.
okay,
And what we have determined is that we are able to also do a presentation on both the town, because it's on the Australian ballot.
determination by the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
And so there, what there, in addition to the budget, there'll be, we're able to do a presentation, and there'll be a presentation on the conservation fund issue as well.
Because those are both on the Australian ballot.
Mhm.
So it's short, my instructions have been. try to keep it
Yes,
10
Amy
minutes.
and I have been
Is
saying
there gonna be
10,
something about
15 minutes.
budget stuff at that meeting? too?
Yeah.
Because
No,
that-
no.
School has its own,
Okay. so
They have a
this is
whole
just
series
town
of.
budget.
this is
information
just town,
things.
yeah. And same with the 26th. So the 26th, as Jeff said, is the informational meeting for all Australian ballot items.
That I-
And we're gonna talk about the budget as well.
Oh,
So
not
we're-
just budget.
So
Okay.
we're required to do that for anything on Australian ballot. So it'll be Conservation Commission, presentation discussion, it'll be bond, presentation discussion, and then we'll run through the budget as well. Usually the budget isn't really discussed that much because everybody knows the next week is when we're gonna vote on the budget. But I think for this topic, we might get a lot of people, you know,
Okay.
because it'll
Is
be,
that a
it'll,
live and hybrid? Is that
Yeah,
here?
it's right here live at
And then,
Havertz.
okay.
Typically 5 people show up for the informational meeting. That's a busy,
Right,
There
that's kind of what I
might be more, you know.
but there might be more other stuff.
Should
Yeah,
promote that you'll also be able to hear about the bond
yeah.
at that, and, I mean, yeah.
I imagine there'll be more people because of the bond. But outside of
Yeah.
that, Conservation Commission, people sort of know. And the budget, like I said, they wait till town meeting to really chime in.
So the
So
week
that's
of the
a-
19th is when we should. That's the other front porch forum post we could do. So
Okay.
next week I'll put in this.
And
then
if
the
you want
week
me
of the
to
ninth-
just Draft something up,
That'd be great.
yeah. The week of the
And
19th.
kind of
just,
promote it. I mean, Josh can't really promote it. It's just
No,
the
no,
kind
no,
of
but I
generic
can
thing.
say if you know, if you want to learn
Yeah.
more about the, the ballot measure, the bond vote, it will be discussed at the budget meeting on.
What time is that?
And just call it the public information meeting.
Thank you.
Yeah, 'cause
Public
it's not just
information.
budget.
Meeting?
I think it's 7, isn't it 7?
It starts at 7.
7 PM.
We tried to push it up, and then we couldn't. But
Okay.
Well,
Which room is it gonna be?
it'll be right here.
Right here.
So it's in the select board meeting room or hybrid.
Yes,
I imagine a lot of people will come
Um,
hybrid.
Will you have the Zoom set up so I could put that in the?
Yeah.
Front porch forum?
Yeah, I do have, it's actually on the town meeting warning.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, if you look at town meeting, which is right here. In the agenda here, if you scroll down to the bottom, there is the informational meeting, so
Okay,
you have
so
the
I can
Zoom,
take
you
the
can take
language
that,
right
yeah.
off of there.
pull it right off of
Yeah,
there, yeah.
okay, perfect.
I
Yeah.
should probably actually pop this into the actual calendar, because this right now is on the March 5th.
Under the select board calendar?
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
on, it's on March 5th under select board calendar, or if you just go to the regular calendar here on the page, it has everything. But, because right now I just have I have a placeholder, I keep meaning to add more. But yeah, I've got this placeholder here, but I could put the Zoom and say more information coming soon. I might actually do that right now while I'm thinking about it.
Yeah,
Get it. Well, does that give you what you need?
yeah, that's
Okay,
fine.
great.
Yeah,
It's our parking.
it's not
advisory.
gonna be long.
Parking advisory, okay, that's the committee, so they're talking about recreational parking.
they did a bang up job.
They're really, they
Very
do a great job.
Do they?
Yeah, well, they're responsible for like a recreational parking map, some of the parking changes on Cockatoo, parking changes on
Yeah.
Dugway, Over Rockers development,
Okay.
like. They've done a tremendous,
Heard
they
a
got,
couple of their presentations.
Yeah.
and it's
Very
like,
they've done a lot of work in the last
Yeah.
3 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
they do a really good job, so.
As you may know,
Not very
like
much.
the parking on Dugway Road's like gigantic issue, and on the
Yeah, right
east end
there.
of Cochrane Road, it's east end of Cochrane Road,
Yep.
and they've taken that issue on and they have done a really
Okay.
terrific job.
Let's,
Um,
so that's good. We
that's
did
good.
post
Okay.
states, topics.
So as far as what the presentation will be,
Mhm.
what I'm thinking is that since it's only 10 minutes, you know, I was thinking that I would do it rather than try to,
Mhm.
you know, do it a more dog on the show.
Break up. It's just.
Yeah,
And so what I thought I would do is take the presentation that we have and just pare it down and
Yeah.
get it to within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What I might do is I might share it with you all before I
that's
finish.
fine.
Um, but,
Yeah, I mean, the key
this enough
slides, we
feedback.
don't need to do, I mean, I appreciate the history, but probably for this meeting, we don't need to go into a lot of the
Yeah,
building
could be.
history and
But-
because people what they want to know is what's the money going for? Let's look at the pictures,
Mhm.
you know? That list of deficiencies, because it's not it isn't a tour, so we have to kind of list the
Mhm.
problems in some way. Or
What-
the
I would
solution.
suggest 4 slides, Jeff. If you've got 10 minutes, you got to pick the 4 most important slides.
We're challenging him. We're really challenging him.
I
now.
like it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, I've forgotten my challenge. I'll take it on.
I don't know, at the end of the day, the most single most compelling thing that I always share with people is, what's the alternative?
yeah,
We don't really have, there is no plan B, that like do nothing is not, that just means it's gonna cost more the next time we go around.
because you can't put people through construction twice. Like,
Three.
you know,
And even if
do
that-
half of
But
it now.
if we
and-
do that, but like, what is that?
Yeah, I know. What is the half?
Borrowing the money anyway, so it's not like
Yeah.
getting ponying it all up at one
Yeah.
point, it's borrowing
Yeah.
it, so.
Yeah.
Get it now while it's as cheap as it's gonna ever be.
So what my feeling is that the purpose of both this presentation and the presentation at town meeting, which is, they'll be the same, is giving people an opportunity to ask questions.
Sure.
Yeah,
And,
that's why the shorter, you know,
and,
Yeah.
and, you know, I have to say, the work that we've done is really, really helpful in all of that.
mm,
You know, because we have gone through these questions a lot. It makes it much easier for me, you know.
yeah, I haven't really been asked any questions that we hadn't thought about,
Right.
you know. Maybe I didn't have the exact answer to the specific question, but
It took me a
nobody's
little work to
really
come up.
posed any. I mean, some of Mark's finances, the way he was doing it that's not my strong suit, so, you know, but
But it, you know,
You know.
even he walking through is like, you know, okay, you know, it's a lot of money, but it's the same response, a lot of money, but
right,
we gotta do it, so like what do you?
Right, no one wants to spend them, it's, you get a big hole in your roof, it's not like, and you get a quote, and it's like, yeah, it's expensive, but like, what's the choice? Just
Yeah,
let
what's the
rain pour in your house, and like, it's just.
yeah,
You know, that's how I feel about this
Yeah,
whole thing,
It is
is,
very much that.
this is
Yeah.
our town, like, do we want a town? Do we want town services? Like, yeah, I think, yeah, like, you know. You gotta have a
Okay.
place to put all that stuff.
mhm,
So, okay, I feel pretty comfortable with that. So question is, do we want to meet again before town meeting? So today is what, the 8th.
yeah,
Town meeting is about a month from now. Our regularly scheduled meeting would be on the 22nd.
No, it'd be next week.
Is it next
Right,
week?
'cause
Yeah,
this-
we're so off schedule
this one was an off-schedule meeting.
because we've had so many tours.
Yeah,
Yeah. So our next regularly scheduled would be next week, and then the 29th, we have another regularly scheduled.
I'm not thinking
and
it's
I don't see
necessary.
any
I don't think
point
so
meeting
either.
on the 29th, and unless some big thing comes up, I don't.
I mean, unless we wanted to do another like open tour one of those nights, I don't know.
Well,
if
you
people
know,
would be up for
it's
that.
still an open offer as far as I'm concerned. Oh, Lisa, did you have a suggestion?
Oh, there. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Jeff, I don't know if you want to try a sample presentation on people. I mean, like you say, you've got 10 minutes at town meeting, so
Right.
We could try to be an unfriendly audience and see what happens. For you. I mean, just so you get that, skin thickened up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if if I would be ready by the 15th would be my problem.
Okay, well, it's not fair to make you go before you're ready. That would be definitely bad. Okay,
So what's the next, is the 22nd?
22nd is the next Thursday.
22nd, it's just it's an off Thursday for us, but we could meet then. Let me see if there's any other meetings on the schedule.
I'll leave it up
That's
to,
up to you. What do you think, Amy? Do we feel like we would like?
No, this is me.
I kind of feel like the only thing we might need to do is just know what we're going to say at the meeting on the 26th and run through that. But I would think like if we did that on the 22nd, if we could do that. And then I don't think we would need to meet on the 29th right before town meeting. If we've already met on the 26th. So.
And he would have done the presentation once already anyway.
Yep.
I mean, personally, I have full confidence. Jeff's been living and breathing this, that he honed this message pretty well at this point, and that coupled with the lack of high expectations on the number of people that are going to be here. Not sure how much we're, I don't want to say it's not important, but I'm not like going to lose sleep.
what you could do is, we could treat the 22nd as the rehearsal.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I mean,
we
not the
would say.
22nd, the 26th as a rehearsal. Because it's the town meeting is a week after that.
Well, you're talking, I'm sorry, Amy, I'm not sure if you were referring to what are we going to say on the 26th or what are we going to say on the 5th?
They would be the same, right? Whatever we say on the 26th, we would say again at town meeting.
Right,
Yeah.
so I guess the question is the 26th the run through for the 5th, or do we need a run through to the 5th?
Well, if the 26th is a hybrid, there might be more people tuning in
Yeah,
than showing up.
and
So,
because it's Australian ballot, people might think of it ahead of time versus at town meeting,
Right,
just to,
yeah.
they might want more
so
information early. Mhm.
How do you feel,
Yeah,
Jeff?
how are you? feeling?
I feel like I've got a lot of meetings coming up.
Okay,
And having another meeting is not necessary for me. What I,
Okay.
I have to tell you, what I tend to do with the presentation is I'll get it all set up. And then I'll go out in my barn and I'll practice it about 5 times,
Great.
Yeah,
okay.
so,
So if you send us the slides.
yes. I'll
and
do that.
when you're gonna be in
that's
your barn,
fine,
we'll
and
be
we
there.
And if we think, there's something missing in the slides, we
Yeah.
can let you know, and yeah.
Cool.
That works for me.
You can get a ventriloquist.
And I'll try real hard
There
to
you go.
get it down to 4 slides, but I'm not going to promise.
All right, 4.5, get a title slide, but
I mean, you can do the high level stuff.
Yeah, I
and
can.
it's like questions guide.
Yeah.
The questions often bring out that's what happens on the tour. All the questions bring out all the issues,
They do. So what I tend to do is and I had some technical difficulties this last time, but I tend to have, the brief presentation and I have the other one pulled up. So if questions come up, I've got a slide on that, and I can
Hmm.
do that.
Nice.
So I'll work on that. But if you guys trust me, I think I would just as soon limit the number. I've only had 25 evening meetings this month, it feels like. I'm almost having as many meetings as Josh has.
That sounds like more than me.
Oh, I know. All right.
You're overachieving.
Okay, so this is a really brief meeting.
I would say the next time we meet, it should be
Not for a tough meeting.
over drinks to
It's
celebrate
really
the vote. That's what I think.
The vote. We should
Nice optimism.
Whatever.
Whichever way
Drink,
the
drink
vote
for
goes.
happiness or drink a
I
brighter
am
years.
all
Jeff's
for
barn.
that.
All right. I like that
Live
idea.
from Jeff's barn.
If it were warm enough, we could do that. I would,
Yeah.
I would love
70
that.
degrees.
Yeah.
It's such a different task to meet to do a project rather than to try to prepare
Yeah.
for this project. This has been, It's been a long haul.
Yeah, it has.
Um, okay, then why don't we do the other, the grant? Where you're at with the grant?
So Josh was laughing when I was trying to explain this grant to
I
him.
was.
Because we do have to go to the select board. Um, so this is the US Treasury Capital Projects Fund for Libraries.
Yeah, that sounds very
It's
specific.
ARPA money.
Okay.
All right.
Well, of course, it comes out now and you have to commit before the end of the year, right?
No, it has to be spent by the end of December 2026.
But you have to obligate,
They
but
have to well, they say that the apps are due March 12th and they say they're gonna have it out.
March 12th?
Yeah.
Cool.
Right. Well, Rebecca's got 3/4 of this
Great.
done. But we met because we had some, so the purpose of this grant is to better serve Vermonters by providing in-house use of internet and public computing resources free of charge. So they're trying to expand or make certain that the public has access to high-speed internet through, okay.
We already have that.
But you can replace your roof under this grant.
It's amazing.
Because if the building doesn't exist, you can't provide high-speed internet. So this is a I sat on the webinar and they literally said roofs qualify. So, oh
Great.
yeah. So this is very broad,
Great.
Sounds like federal government.
right? Well, or it's the library interpreting it
Uh,
because the library is
too narrow or too
administering
broad.
the grant.
Right, too narrow or too broad.
So,
And is this what you want? Do you want to replace the slate roof? Is this what this is?
no, okay, we have. Rebecca and we know that the front steps on the library
Yep.
are not to code.
Yep, that would be
They
great.
need to be fixed.
Yep.
And we could do the portion of the handicapped ramp on the library out of this project, whether or not the
Cool.
bond passes.
Cool.
We
How
could
much
get
can you
in-
apply for?
There's no maximum and there's no minimum. They have $16.4 million.
Mhm. And then
Um,
no instruction on.
Is that for Vermont?
Vermont or national?
The Vermont,
Wow.
that's Vermont.
Oh,
But
It's
there were
specific-
200 and something people on the webinar,
Yeah,
Is it
So-
specific to libraries
only libraries
for Wi-Fi?
or,
Wi-Fi related projects.
but should we be able
okay.
to repair our streets? Because if you can't drive to the library,
I
you
know.
can't access the.
So
No, this
Rebecca
makes sense though, yeah.
thing, and we said, I think we have a better shot because it's literally
Accessibility.
handicapped access and accessibility to the
I
library.
like that a lot. That's a
So
great.
that's what we decided we would do. I was just gonna reach out to Andrew and say, can you just tell me a ballpark if
Yeah,
we
yeah.
pulled out just the ramp and the grading they would have to do to put the ramp in
Yeah, yeah.
there?
So you're not doing the roof, you're doing the ramp? Sorry, did I lose?
The handicapped ramp and the front
stoop.
steps repair,
So that would be,
There is roof repair too.
Not the roof.
not the roof.
Okay, sorry. Yes, last week you said roof, I think, but now
I know,
you're switching.
but-
That's fine. I know.
I'm
I'm following. I'm getting you now.
And she and I both, because we watched the video of the thing and listened to them and from the questions, I think we could make a better case
Cool.
Great.
for those.
cool.
So does that need to get onto the February 20 select board agenda for approval to apply?
That's good. I can write up something.
We also have the March 4th. Too, right?
When's it due?
March 12th.
Okay, what's your pleasure?
We have March, so we're meeting the night before town meeting, the select board.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's a lot that I
Do
need
we
to say about
need
this
to-
grant.
Did the
I can
select-
just copy the paragraphs they have about the grant on their website
Yeah,
and tell them what we're applying for.
yeah, as long as they have, usually as long as they have numbers and general
No
idea.
match or
You don't-
anything.
Well, there probably is a match, right? No match? Well, then, free money. Typically for the board, they need numbers, what is it gonna cost the town, which is apparently nothing, and a general idea. You don't need a completed grant application.
Right, yeah. And, cause I have to ask, cause the front steps to historically restore them is 60 to 80,000. But Alex already said, but we could make it look close enough and it wouldn't be that much.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I'm gonna have him give me a ballpark number and,
So we were talking 200,000, something like that.
oh, I don't think it's even that much.
Oh, for
Well,
the
for the-
handicap ramp and that, is that what you're thinking?
I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are.
That sounds excellent
I
to
mean,
me.
yeah.
So this will be coming from the trustees, not from this committee,
This would be going to the select board, because actually the town would have to,
but it's the trustees that'll be asking the select
Yes,
board,
yes,
not
yes.
this committee.
not this committee.
Um, cool.
So which meeting do you want to be on?
I think we should go earlier rather than later, Lori.
In case there's any
Just
questions.
Yep.
I don't have answered, and also, Mark, there's gonna be a lot of election
Maybe.
stuff. I don't
All
know.
right.
Yeah,
So it's on, so
Go with the
just
20th.
so you're clear, the 20th is a Tuesday. We shifted.
Yeah.
Right.
Monday, the Monday is President's Day, and so we shifted it to Tuesday.
So if you could get me info by the 15th, a week from today,
16.
and again, it doesn't have to be a complete app. I mean, you can send me the application just so I could put it, even if it's a blank one, I'll put it in the packet.
it's like long. I mean, it's like
Oh.
18 pages.
Nothing that we haven't.
And most of it, quite honestly, is statistics from Rebecca
Okay.
about numbers of,
Yeah. I mean, if you've got a draft
I-
by then, or even if you just have the blank app, sometimes I think the board likes to like read through the app. Sometimes they don't, but I provide it in case they want it. And then just a
Yes,
couple
I
paragraphs
will
about
tell
what
you
it
that
is.
they're using a percentage to award extra points for underserved communities.
Yep.
And they told us that they were using points off this chart, which I cannot find the chart. I've looked on what they link to is not a chart that tells you what your community is. But Rebecca and I are guessing that we're not gonna get any extra points.
Right.
So,
Right.
so I still think who knows? I don't know what people are gonna apply for.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
If, if the Hardwick Library that got flooded out
Yeah, right, they should.
applies for $3 million,
Or Montpelier
or Montpelier, yeah, there were
Mm.
5 libraries that were flooded
and probably
Oh.
Bering.
in July.
When
And they've
did they
been
get-
working on,
Aren't those gonna get ARPA money to repair?
well, who knows, but
I mean, not ARPA, FEMA
we
money.
probably won't give them enough money to rebuild the library, though.
You can't match with
No.
FEMA money, but.
I don't know, they probably give them 75% plus another 16.5 from this. They probably get a lot if it's a
I don't
town
know.
owned.
I don't know how it's working anyway.
I
but
would think FEMA
Anyway,
would jump in on
it's an
that.
interesting grant application, and most of it asks for like an incredible amount of detail on how many books you circulate in a week and how many hours you're open and how many employees you have and how many
Hmm.
people come in.
How about how many people come in to use the
We always
Wi-Fi?
have to try to throw in Bolton and Huntington into our
Yeah.
stats though, because a lot of people that use the library are from Bolton and Huntington.
Huntington has a library, don't they? Is
Yes, but they're only open about 9 hours a week.
that right? Okay.
Wow.
So they come up
Yeah.
there. Well, they're up here
And
for
Bolton
baseball and
doesn't
soccer
have a
anyway. So.
library.
No, I know Bolton
you
doesn't
know.
have, I mean, Bolton used to pay a
They pay.
stipend
do
every
pay.
month.
They pay,
Town used to
they
chip
pay
in.
for their, if a Bolton resident wants a card from us,
Oh,
the town of Bolton will pay for it. for
that's
them.
right. It changed from like an annual $1,000 to
Because we just
30.
raised the rate and we had to tell Bolton. We only raised it by $5, but
They got a new town clerk and administrator. They can accept change. All right, cool. So I'll add that to the agenda. Yep, 20th.
okay,
Gotcha.
I assume it would be fair to say that the town center committee fully supports the trustees for,
we need
putting in
a letter from the
Second.
town and we need a letter from the trustees.
Okay.
And we don't need a letter from this committee because
Okay.
they don't know we have a committee.
You want a letter
They
from
could
this?
throw it in.
You need a letter from the select board?
We
Is
need
that what you want or
to
what?
say,
probably a
You
resolution.
gave them
they
a
have,
draft letter
in
in
here
support.
somewhere, tells you you need a town. If you don't own, if the library doesn't own the
Oh.
building as a 501c3, you need a letter from the owner, the municipal owner that says, yes, we support
So do you, I mean, that could just be
Come from
a
you.
letter from me that says the board approved applying for the grant.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you want something more flowery, in which case I would suggest drafting that and the board would probably approve it for you.
Somewhere in here, it tells you what you need, but.
Okay, I don't think we need to,
Look, I'll look and I can tell you, I can give you the language of what they say they need
Okay.
from the town, because they're pretty specific.
that's exciting, actually, though.
Right.
So this
Well-
is, one of the things that I hope for is if the bond passes, we don't have to borrow that much money.
Mhm.
We have to borrow we need as much money as up to that amount to whatever the project is. There's a possibility that, the bids would come in less. There's a possibility that we could use some other funds to reduce some of the costs.
Mm.
There's a possibility that we get some grants. And the grants could, what I'm recommending is that we don't close on this loan until the project is complete. So you could borrow all the money up front and then start paying interest on all that money. Or you can close on the loan after you're done. And I think it would be more prudent. I mean, it's the way you do with a house, is you do a construction loan and then you close with your long-term financing.
So, yeah, I had a question actually about thinking about this. So if the bond passes, when does the $96 per 100,000 or whatever that number ends up being as the tax, when does that
Not
become part of
won't
people's
be
tax
this
bill?
coming.
It won't be the
this-
coming year, right?
Be this coming fiscal year. At the soonest it would be soon.
Does it, it happens in the year that they take the bond?
Yeah, I think once you actually got the money, then you have to start paying it back. So if we
So it
actually,
could be 2 years if we don't, for some reason, construction didn't even start
can start till next summer,
2026
and
or
yeah.
2025, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was correct, but I wasn't,
We'll have to pay some sort of deposit.
well, yeah, she'll have to pay part of it up front. to get
Right, so I
going.
don't know if the town has the kind of money we would need.
We have some, so like we have we've got about 250 in the town center fund, for example.
Right, and we're gonna be paying for the construction, the next phase of design, the
Yeah, that'll-
construction drawings, we're gonna be paying Black River and
Yeah.
whoever to put those together.
And whatever we pay up front, comes off that amount, the estimate anyways,
Yeah.
So
Okay,
we'll
alright.
see.
I just was thinking about that. Okay,
Okay.
good thought.
I move that we approve the minutes from the 14th, the 22nd, and the 25th.
And what about the one last week? What about February?
Oh,
Oh, it's February.
Yeah, you
Did I
them-
send that out?
You
too?
did send them out. Well, what is that? That was
Okay,
February.
and February
first?
1st.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All in favor? I should be, you have to say
I
that.
do, I'm still in control here. So if there's no
At least
further.
A little while
I'm a
longer.
little while longer. So if there's no further discussion, state your name and your vote.
Jake, I.
Josh, I.
Lori, aye.
Amy, I.
Jeff, aye.
All
Um,
right,
so,
yay.
so once again, Lori, I have to say, you can't believe how helpful these minutes are.
Yeah, especially when you missed the meeting, which I did.
Yeah.
It was extremely.
Well, even when you're here, about 15 minutes after I'm here, I forget what we
I
did.
know,
Um,
I do too.
Okay, is there,
Okay, Amy does it for the library committee and she does equally good detailed minutes, so
really helpful.
I go back and go, what did we say?
Okay, so is there any other business that we need to attend to?
No,
And we don't have another meeting.
Nope.
not
good.
until the 26th, which is not an official meeting, but
Okay,
I'll be there to see how you do, Jay. Yeah.
so how about I propose that we have a meeting on the 7th.
Of March,
It's 2 days after town meeting.
and we drink, and we have a party.
We actually, I don't know if we even still exist after I guess we still do, so it still has to be a public meeting.
Yeah,
I
no,
was gonna suggest we have it at my house.
I think we still exist as a, I think we-
I think it still has to be,
Well, if we don't talk about any business and just have a party.
no, that doesn't work.
Oh,
Um,
darn.
and we can't bring beers here, can we?
advise against it.
We could come here and we can adjourn and then we could go to Stone Grill.
There you go.
Well, there you go. I was gonna say that the library committee has done that occasionally.
Mm.
Adjourned and gone to Hatchet or adjourned and.
And we
gone
could
to-
just happen to run into each other.
Yeah.
Just,
Go into executive session and Hatchets.
we'll either be,
I know, we're getting in real trouble.
We're all sloth happy here tonight.
It's been a long road. It's been a real long road.
Like senioritis setting in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, so,
All right. Are
see
we
you all on
adjourned?
the 26th,
Yep.
at least via
And over
Zoom.
the
and-
4th or 5th.
And- Oh, and by the way, town meeting, should be lots of fun.
Oh, no.
There's full of very exciting issues on the ballot on town meeting, so, plan for the day. It'll certainly go beyond
Who's cooking lunch? I want to
the
know.
senior center.
Oh, they are. Okay.
It will definitely go beyond lunch. There's no question.
Will that be here as well, or is that up at?
That'll be up at Campbell.
Yeah.
There'll be a few hundred people,
know.
I'm sure.
Okay, motion to adjourn, accepted?
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
We're done.
Aye, we have-
Hi.
You don't have to vote to adjourn. You just
Everybody.
have to move to adjourn.
Okay.
Okay,
Yay.
we'll see you soon, Amy, and Lisa,
you
I'll
on the-
see you.
See you on
Yep,
the
I know.
26th.
All right.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.